Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHONJ, Margaret Josephs shares heartbreaking family loss. RHONJ star Margaret Josephs is sharing a heartbreaking family loss that has shattered her to pieces. She is very tight with those she loves and lets into her circle. So when this happened, it rocked her whole world. What tragedy is she mourning? Keep reading for more details. Jackie Goldschneider may have left Margaret Josephs' inner circle, but the ones who are there stay for a very long time. She has her devoted and beloved housekeeper, Marlene, who fans adore. Then there is Lexi Barbuto, her creative director and assistant. When Lexi needed it, Margaret and her husband, Joe Benigno, welcomed her into their home with open arms, as well as her young son. She always makes it a family affair. Even Margaret's mother, Marge Senior, is a staple despite their sometimes troubled past. In summation, those she loves, she is dedicated to. When her first husband, Jen Josephs, passed away, it was a crushing blow for Margaret. Though things did not end the way that they should have, they raised a family together, and it was still devastating. Now, the RHONJ star is dealing with another heartbreak and having to say goodbye to a love that has meant more to her than she could have ever imagined. Margaret shared via Instagram that her precious pooch, Bella, stepped over the rainbow bridge. Bella was a rescue pup, but stole the hearts of everyone that she came in contact with. Margaret Josephs shared a series of snaps of her and Bella, as well as the sweet pooch with her husband and her mother. In most of them, she was wearing a pink sweater, plus she could be seen snoozing away. Immediately, Bravilevs chimed in with condolences. Rachel Fuda. Love you so much, Marge, thinking of you all. Dorinda Medley. Oh no, this is terrible, I'm so sorry. Melissa Gorga. I'm so sorry, Marge. I know how much you loved that baby. Margaret Josephs is dealing with a tough season on RHONJ. She was very close to Jackie Goldschneider, who has since become best friends with Teresa Giudice. However, Teresa wants to use this friendship solely to expose Margaret and what she deems her evil ways. Teresa also believes that Margaret is obsessed with her, but the feeling is mutual. This is going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but at least Margaret had Bella all through filming. Margaret Josephs, the bold and unapologetic star of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, is no stranger to sharing the most intimate details of her life with fans. From her glamorous life as a successful entrepreneur to her fiery confrontations on the show, she's always been an open book. However, nothing could have prepared Margaret, or her devoted fans, for the devastating news she shared recently, news that has shaken her to her core. In a heartfelt Instagram post, Margaret opened up about an irreplaceable loss that left her reeling. With a photo of a lit candle and a handwritten note, she shared that her beloved mother, Marge Senior, had passed away. While fans have always known the mother-daughter duo for their dynamic relationship, no one expected this heartbreaking revelation. As Margaret's post began to circulate online, her RHONJ co-stars and fans poured out their condolences. What Margaret revealed next, though, was a glimpse into the depths of their bond and how much her mother's influence had shaped her life, both on and off the screen. The matriarch behind the glam. Marge Senior, as fans affectionately know her, was much more than just Margaret's mother. She was a firecracker in her own right, a vivacious woman who lived life on her own terms, with a zest and flair that easily rivaled that of her daughter. Through the years on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, viewers got glimpses of their bond, a blend of friendship and family, with an unmistakable love underneath the teasing banter. But behind the laughter, Margaret had always made it clear how pivotal her mother was to her success. Raised by a single mother after Marge Senior left her father when Margaret was just a toddler, the two had an unshakable bond built on resilience. Margaret often credited her mother for her strength, independence, and drive. She saw Marge Senior as not just a parent, but her greatest role model. In her post, Margaret reflected on the lessons she learned from her mother, lessons about perseverance, how to embrace challenges, and the importance of living unapologetically. She was my first example of a woman who knew what she wanted and wasn't afraid to go after it, Margaret wrote. She showed me that strength and vulnerability can coexist, and that sometimes being tough means walking away from things that no longer serve you. A legacy of love. The emotional weight of Marge Senior's passing hit Margaret harder than many realized. For someone who exudes so much confidence and tenacity on the screen, this loss seemed to crack something deep inside her. In her post, Margaret shared that her mother's death had left her feeling adrift, struggling to imagine her life without the woman who had been her constant source of support. "I feel like I've lost a part of myself," Margaret confessed in the post. "Marge Senior was my guiding light. She was the person I turned to for everything, whether I was making a big decision or just needed to vent about my day. Now I feel like I'm navigating this world without my compass." Margaret also opened up about the complexity of grief, acknowledging that while she knew her mother would have wanted her to stay strong, it was hard to find comfort in those thoughts. "She would tell me to pull myself together, to keep moving forward, but right now that feels impossible," Margaret admitted. She was larger than life, and now there's this giant void that nothing can fill. Memories and moments. As Margaret reflected on her mother's life, she shared some personal anecdotes that painted a fuller picture of Marge Senior's vibrant spirit. One such memory was a family tradition that the two cherished, a yearly trip to the shore where they would sit on the boardwalk and people watch for hours. It didn't matter how busy we both were, we made time for that trip every year. Those moments were just us, laughing at the world around us, and talking about everything and nothing. Now, I can't imagine going back there without her. Margaret also reminisced about their shared love of fashion. She remembered how her mother would take her to thrift stores, teaching her the art of finding hidden gems. She had such an eye for style, even before she had the money to spend on it, Margaret wrote. She could turn a $5 jacket into something that looked like it came straight from the runway. "It's because of her that I learned to appreciate bold fashion choices and to always make a statement." A new chapter of grief. Margaret ended her post by addressing her fans directly, thanking them for their outpouring of support. "I'm so grateful for the love you've all shown me during this incredibly difficult time," she wrote. "Grief is a strange thing. Some days it feels unbearable, like the weight of it might crush me. But other days I find myself smiling at the memories, grateful for the time we had together." She also mentioned that the loss had given her a new perspective on life, one that she would be carrying with her as she moved forward. "I don't know what the future holds without her, but I do know that she wouldn't want me to wallow in sadness. She would want me to live fully, boldly, and with all the passion she lived with every day." In true Margaret Josephs fashion, she vowed to honor her mother's memory by continuing to live life as fiercely as Marge Senior had taught her to. Though the pain of losing her mother will never fully fade, Margaret is determined to keep her legacy alive, not just for herself, but for everyone who admired her. As fans and friends continue to rally around Margaret, one thing is certain: Marge Senior's spirit will live on in every bold decision, every act of strength, and every unapologetic move Margaret makes moving forward.